Today, on how it's automated. Stators, rotors, and motors. The motor creates a mechanical force that is used to move things, but for fix-it, its only purpose is to use it to make other items in buildings. It has no purpose other than a building material. I'm not even joking in saying this goes off script, but it is what it is. Let's get started. Pioneers tap an iron node to make sure it is awake. If it is, a miner building is placed and extraction begins for iron ore. The ore is then converted to a metallic form known as pure iron, or Fe for all you chemists out there. That process is done in a series of smelter buildings that smelt things. This process is known to the younger generation of pioneers as getting smelt yo. After getting smelted, the iron is then squeezed into thin rods aptly named iron rods. This process takes place in what appears to be randomly placed constructor buildings. Aren't they neat little bundles? Then the neat rods are cut into little bundles of screws. Or are they bolts? I can't tell. And where the heck did the container come from? I'm just going to stick to calling them screws.
Did you say screws?
No, stop interrupting me every time I mention screws. Now where were we? Some of the rods are left whole as they are to be used in the next step. The remaining rods are then mixed with the screws. Somehow by mixing the iron rods and little tiny screws together makes a rotor. Don't ask me, but it made me another $20 just for asking how it works. Next, a pioneer turns their attention to the process of making stators. And what a beautiful layout they went with. This process requires steel to be made, which is a mix of iron and coal. This fusing process is completed in the foundry building. Boy, just look at this. The fresh-made steel is then further processed in constructor buildings to extrude them into steel pipes. These pipes come out in more little adorable bundles. Copper is used for the next process to make wire. As of today, 3 fingers have been lost to the copper miner. The copper ore is smelted down to purify it before it can become wire though. Man, these pioneers got creative laying this out, didn't they? The copper ingots are then routed using belts made of spaghetti to more constructor buildings. These buildings then squish the copper until it becomes a lengthy wire boy. A spool is made in the process by using impurities in the air. I swear I am not making this up. That's what it says in the script. The wire is then routed over the terrain in another creative manner to where we left off the steel pipes. It is then merged with the steel pipes in assembler buildings via magic to create stators. The pioneers have a little guy over here to guard against thieves known as the lizard doggo. They make the most adorable sound if you listen carefully. Such a happy boy. The stators and rotors are then routed across rugged terrain in a very graceful manner. I mean that, the shift supervisor told me directly, this was the best they could do and they were proud of their team. They also said that it has been a while since Fix-It has checked in on them. The motors are now ready to be assembled. This is completed in 3 assembler buildings that are gracefully placed. The stators are then thrust into the rotors in a process known as merging to create the motors. They are then routed via Mark 1 belt to a flying boy to building sites to be a part of the next big factory. That is how you automate motors. I don't see how they managed it, but this goes to show that even the most hideous factories still can function, and that is really all Fix-It cares about. As a matter of fact, this drives the automation. Make sure to let us know what you want to see automated next and upgrade that subscribe button if you want to see more. Keep it efficient, pioneers.